Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Steam Forward podcast. As always, I'm your host, Savannah, and today our guest is Luchi Estevez. And on this episode, we're going to talk about her Luchi Foundation, as well as her work with Gen 2050. We're going to do some meditation and sound bathing. It's going to be an exciting episode, so please help me welcome Luchi.
Steam Forward Podcast.
I'm so happy that you're here. And one special thing about Luchi is she has been with Gen 2050 for the first years of inception to now all these 7 years, correct?
The beginning of
The very
everything.
beginning. And so how has your journey been so far with Gen 2050?
It has been a wonderful journey.
Mm-hmm.
All the time learning more and more.
Yeah.
And expanding the horizon and building our family, which that's the stage of my life that I am. That's super important.
Right. So let's talk about your life a little bit. Give us some background of where you grew up and who are you? Who is Luchi Estevez?
I was born in the Dominican Republic into a very holistic spiritual family, very religious upbringing, very rigid, I would say. Nonetheless, when I used to go to my grandmother's outside the city, she was living 3 hours away from the city in the countryside. It was my favorite time because I could be free. I could just run barefooted in the fields and eat from every tree, go to the river to take showers. There was no showers. The only water that we had was to go to the river and bring it back to the house. So, that was like really, there was no electricity.
Yes.
So those are the happiest memories of my childhood, I would say. Wow. And eating everything really organic.
Just off the tree.
Of the trees and of every plant. Animals were there. They just were eating what the earth and what my grandmother, the rest of the food that was left over.
Yeah.
That's it,
And so would you say having that upbringing has now brought you to, because what you do with the students is expressive arts and social emotional wellness. So would you say that because of your upbringing, that's where you kind of are in life now?
Oh my goodness, yes. I want the kids to explore this wonderful adventure and never forget that we are, never forget to come back to the basics.
Right.
To come back the beginning of human life.
Right.
That we can survive, we can be self-sustained by the land.
Yeah.
The land, that's something that I love to talk about, the land. Since this year is all about the land.
It's so
and
exciting.
I love the land.
So with expressive arts and social emotional wellness, maybe a viewer is watching and they don't necessarily know what that means. So could you kind of give a definition or an explanation?
Of social and emotional.
Emotional wellness, and then maybe expressive arts as well.
Well, art is everything.
Right.
And we are born as artists. And then with our creative force, this is our second energy center. Without creation, without art, there is nothing.
Right.
I mean, we are made by our parents and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, but when we are born, then we go to school. In the normal school, what they teach you is very regimented. And unfortunately, it hasn't changed in more than 100 years.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is what we're doing at Gen 2050. This is what I've been doing before Gen 2050 for the last 16 years with Luchi, bringing mindfulness education and bringing that playfulness.
Yeah.
And that's where social emotional comes from.
Right.
When the kids are out in the outdoors, not in the regiment of like a military school, what is fun with that?
Right. That's a good point.
We forgot, like back in the Greek times, everything, all of the teachings, it was outdoors,
Right.
you know,
So
and it's small groups of kids. They will have different teachers, and they will go through different teachings back then. So, I was very fortunate to have been born
Yeah.
in my family. You know, this my God, it was so simple and so humble, but we all have a big heart.
Yeah.
We had my grandmother, she passed away 105.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
She was a medicine woman. All of the men and women in my family, we grew up with herbs, knowing the benefits of the herb. How can you can ask any kids right now today in 2024, and can you ask them about what is this herb or anything? Would they know about
Right.
it unless they come to us and we teach them?
Yeah. I always tell somebody in summer camp, if they're in pain, go see Luchi. She has something for you.
Oh, yes.
I know you have it. And so you have the La Luchi Foundation.
Yes.
So what inspired you to start that foundation?
It's a lot of things that inspire me to I'm going to cry right now, because every time anybody asks me that, you know, it's very my heart. My nephew is going to be 24 years. He committed suicide. 12th of February. His 23rd birthday was the 12th of January. So, and I had just moved in 2000 to LA, and I came back for his funeral, the 13th of February. And I had an experience when they were going to cremate his body, and my sister wanted to come. My father was alive, and my sister couldn't handle. And my father took her outside because it was too much for her.
Yeah.
And then I ended up being by myself in the crematory room, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is for me. And I saw my nephew in a, they took him out of the
body bag, yeah.
into a carton box. And I saw in the conveyor going into the fire, and I wait until the last everything. For me, that was an image that it changed my life. It changed completely. Me entering to Los Angeles, I went back there, and I was not the same person that arrived on January 8th, 2000. This was February 16, 17, 18, and I was another person. So after that, I felt like I didn't do enough for my nephew. So when I did my teacher training in 2006, 2007, 6 to 7, and I finished the teacher training, I was like, oh my goodness, all of these tools that I have learned, aside from many other things that I engage over there in, not only in acting, going to school 3 years, Lee Strasberg, and then going to school of massage. I'm an aromatherapist too, and then going to the teacher training and many other trainings that I went through. Finally was like, oh, okay, all of these tools, I can teach them. I can go back to Miami and give to my community, the community that gave me so much, gave me my 2 children here in Miami, Florida. And all of these kids that don't have an opportunity to learn, because it's incredible how yoga and all of this teaching, meditation, mindfulness, anything that is conscious world is so expensive.
Very.
It's a luxury.
Yeah.
So I was like these kids in public schools and other nonprofit organizations that I've been working with, I'm like, I was feel like with love and my, what I didn't give even to my kids.
Yeah.
I was not able to give all of this to my children. I wish I had the knowledge that I have today. I would have been a better mom.
It's your first time experiencing the world too, though. That's how I look at parents. It's your first time too.
Well, I married when I was 16.
Yeah. In Dominican Republic or America?
No, I was married here because I was raped.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff at such an early age that I've been going through in my life. And all of the things that with my family, with my dad, all of the abuse that I experienced when I was a little girl, I was not able to talk. And then through acting and through all of these other tools, I have learned to find my voice.
Yeah.
And I have learned to free myself from all of those traumas.
I am so proud of you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are a very bright person. You're a very expressive person.
But I was not like that.
Right. So I had to learn.
Yeah. Was very quiet. I didn't have a voice. I was just an observer of life, and everything. I used to be around a lot of older people, very quiet, not talking, not even in school. I couldn't say a thing because I was holding so many things, so many abuse that my mom went through, not only with my father, with people around her, seeing her by herself, trying to make the best to be a very good human and raise 2 daughters by herself.
Yeah.
And her coming from a family with 9 kids.
And from another country at that.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's like what we take for granted here, over there is a gift. I mean, we take so many things for granted in this country in general, that when you go and you experience or live in any other underdeveloping country, I still call them third world country, no matter what.
Dominican Republic?
Yeah, all of Latin America, no matter how advanced they think they are, when you go and experience, the el pueblo, the people, which that's what I am more drawn to. When I go back, those are the people that keep me going back, because they teach me to be happy and humble and just be happy with what you have right now. And they don't have anything.
Yeah.
And they're happy.
For the little things, absolutely.
The little things, they enjoy life. Their life is not determined by anything, material. Their happiness is not determined for any material possessions. Yeah. And that's what I love my country, because people are very happy in general.
Yeah.
They find a way, no matter what. They don't take their happiness away.
Yeah.
And that's what I am like that. I never allowed no one to take my happiness away. And even though I've been through all of these traumas in my life, which is a lot, and it didn't stop, because when I got married with my first husband, the father of my son, I went through, it was a journey. I married into the mob. I'm talking about things that I would like to, that people think that everything in my life, when they see me, I live the perfect life.
Like a sparkly, happy life.
Yes. But no. I bet you didn't know what you were gonna get into.
No. I just, it's crazy how it's true. Like, you do have perspective of people by like how happy and positive they are, and you think they couldn't have gone through anything that bad. But I know that people that go through the toughest of situations, they usually have the brightest insight of life. And so you are a very bright insight of life.
And we're not over. This
No.
thing is still happening. It's just that I go back when you have tools to heal yourself. Because, by the way, I never became a yoga teacher to teach. I became a yoga teacher for myself. I was running another company that it was Levo Duarte Esencia, which I had G-Flow aromatherapy products, and I was doing private label aside from being an actress. In the meantime, I was going to auditions. I had, a company that I was making a living with, know. So then when I became all of this, then I had tools to heal myself. When I was so stressed out, I was like, how can I be a hypocrite if I'm selling this box of oils that is going to help you heal your energy centers? And here I am with my heart pounding in the bathroom of my office. And I say, okay, I need to learn how to breathe there. I had to do certain poses there. And I was like, oh my God. When I found it was like, okay, I can do this.
Yes, you have a giant toolbox that you can pull from.
Yes.
I love that.
It's like being a magician, just tool for here, tool for this. And still the tools are endless.
So true. Well, speaking of tools, you have something here today that you want to demonstrate. So if you want to just explain to the viewers what exactly this exercise is.
Well, this is not an exercise.
Okay.
If there is an exercise, it's just for our hearing. Whether you believe it or not, this tool, it helps the vibration, the sound of it is an alchemy crystal ball. And this one is enhanced with 24 karat gold.
Okay.
Yeah, aside from quartz and other minerals inside of it. I hardly ever use this one, but today I feel like
it's special.
Yes, it's my first time, so I want to have like initiation with the sounds. Close your eyes for a moment. Bring your attention to your body, your feet on the ground. Just feel the land under your feet and feel connection with your feet and the space that you are around, and connect with your breath through inhaling through the nose, long and deep breathing, and exhale through the mouth. Inhaling pure oxygen and exhaling toxins out of your body. Keeping your eyes closed, connecting your whole body, being present with you. Keep inhaling and exhaling through the nose now. Connecting your heart, all of your internal organs in oneness, your mind, bringing your mind into the present moment and listening to the sound. And coming back into the present moment, long and deep healing, long and deep breath brings you lots of healing and connection to your own self. Remember, you are your own healer. Just ask the Creator, God, to give you the power to heal yourself.
Thank you, Luchi. I always love the sound baths. It's so true what you say about the sound and the frequency. It does make you feel better.
Yes.
It does.
Because our bodies are 72% water.
Mm-hmm.
So if I bring water inside this, it looks like a goblet, like a
Yeah.
and I make sound, it's gonna be sparkling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then what the sound is doing into our body, 72%. And in that note too, the earth is 72% water, so we are surrounded by water.
Right.
So the benefits is gonna rip whether you believe it or not.
Yeah.
You're going, your body, your internal body,
Feels
it's
it.
yeah. It's like on that note, let's do it.
Yes. So how we like to wrap up the podcast is with a word of the day, but a lot of people have been bringing us phrases of the day. So Luchi, what is your phrase?
Let's do it.
And why is that?
Let's be an astronaut of our inner self.
Yes.
To walk the talk.
Yeah.
You gotta know yourself.
Yes.
You gotta know who you are and what's your purpose in life. Otherwise, you're here running around like a chicken without a head, not knowing your direction.
I agree. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Luchi, so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your feelings and just sharing your life with us and letting us inside of that life. Thank you for all that you do for the children. I know that they love it. I know that it has changed the hearts and the emotions of a lot of the students that we deal with. So let it be known that your work does not go unnoticed.
Thank you.
And so thank you so much. I'm excited for this summer.
Yeah,
The
me
land.
too. Yeah, the land. Let's land.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Actually, the land is all about rooting ourselves
Right.
into the ground, into the earth. You know? And by the way, I wanted to do this. I wanted to say this because I have gone through so many changes in my life. 24 years ago, I will never even talk about my past.
Right.
I was so embarrassed. I was even embarrassed to say that I was coming from where I was coming from. That's how much stuff I had from the matrix inside my brain,
Right.
that I was not good enough for a lot of things. And that was embarrassing. I was ashamed of all of the things that I went through in my life. And because of the work that I've done these last years, I'm able to talk freely and not be ashamed,
Right.
to say things that are very strong.
I like to say our stories are badges of honor that we have conquered and we have overcome. And that I don't allow people to write the story for me, but I'm the writer of my own story.
Oh, yes. You are the director
And the narrator.
producer, the narrator, and the actor of your own life.
Right.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you for having me, and many blessings to all of you.
And as always, a special thanks to our sponsors, the Children's Trust and Trinity Church. And don't forget that there are 3 ways in which you can listen or watch this podcast. If you'd like to listen, follow us on Apple or Spotify. If you'd like to watch, follow us on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and click that bell for post notifications.